All right, so one of the most disappointing seasons, really, since I can remember being a Hawks fan, since they've come back on TV, has definitely been this season. I think more so than all the other ones. That they did have a heartbreaker against Vancouver, years ago, but this one was really bad. I mean, the second greatest regular season record in franchise history. I think we had 109 points and then get swept by the eighth seed in the first round. Horrible, absolutely horrible. And so, obviously, in my opinion, I think some changes need to be made, not only from the style of play, there's that needs to be changed a little bit, but also just because of salary cap concerns, we are in a horrible position, but not too far gone. It's just bad. We can navigate out of it. But I want to show you on Cap Friendly kind of what the Hawks got to work with right now. Let me see if I can bring up some of the statistics. So right now we are projected to have negative $3.6 million in cap space, which means we got to shed some stuff. Um, a lot of people are speculating that Trevor Van Riemsdyk is going to be gone in the expansion draft, and hopefully we also negotiate something for them to take Kruger. So let's see, that's a little over. Kruger's salary is a little over $3 million. So let's just say, $3.8 million is gone with Van Riemsdyk and Kruger gone. We need to repair. We need to fill some holes, but we also need to shed some cap space. And so really the question is going to be, with Stan Bowman saying big moves are going to happen, who is going to move? Because I got freaking no idea. Obviously, Kane and Taves both have $10.5 million salaries. Thank you, the Canadian dollar, for not expanding cap. They got no movement clauses all the way through their contract in 2022-23. Marian Hossa also has no movement clause with his $5.275 million salary through the 20 and 21 season. But one guy who might move would be Armanisimov. He can be traded. He's got a better salary around the $4.5 million, but his modified no trade clause doesn't start until the 2018-2019 season, where he has to list 10 teams that he would be willing to move to. So we'll see if we can move him. I think it's going to be hard. And then when we look at our defense, Hjalmarsson, he's got a modified no trade clause, so we can trade him to 10 teams that he lists, but for $4.1 million for the next 3 years, I think that's a reasonable contract, and I wouldn't want to see the Hammer go. Duncan Keith, again, he's at the $5.5 million through 2022-23. And Brent Seabrook is $6.8 million for the next 6 years, which sucks because he's 32 years old. But his he also he has a no trade clause, but that turns to a modified in 22-23, where you can submit 5 teams to be traded to, and then oh wow. Okay, I guess his contract goes even longer than that, to 23-24. So, man, who is going to move? Well, I know this isn't probably the most exciting option, but I think it honestly might be one of the most practical solutions. Because honestly, I feel like the core of the Blackhawks is pretty good. And if we can trade Brent Seabrook, I would honestly like to do that. I don't like his cap hit with the age that he is, and he's not a very fast defenseman, and I think we need some more speed on our. I never understood why Coach Q didn't like guys like Nick Leddy. I think he was a phenomenal defenseman. I think he should have gotten more ice time when he was here. And honestly, I feel like if we had a guy who could have skated the puck like that against Nashville, the series would have been a little bit different. But anyways, Stan Bowman it's been done before where you can get a guy with a no movement clause to waive that. But you got to play some hardball tactics. And I don't really know, with the Hawks being known as an organization that's very loyal, that players want to go to, I don't know if they want to see that. So maybe we can move Seabrook. I don't know, but I think the most logical, the first thing that I see would be, honestly, to move Artemi Panarin. And that breaks my heart because when Brandon Saad left, oh man, that was a shot in the gut. But at least we got Panarin to replace him, and he's been a very fun and entertaining player to watch. However, I think in the playoffs, he didn't really no one really showed up in the playoffs, but he's very talented. Of course, he's playing with Kane, and I think you can get great value back for him. And we also got some prospects, I think, that can, we got probably the most talked about one is Alex DeBrincat, who's playing for the Erie Otters, who I believe set the OHL single-season point record this year. And so I think he could play really well on the opposite wing with Kane, and he would be an entry-level contract. I don't see DeBrincat as fitting in on one of the third, fourth lines. I really just see him being a top six or bust kind of guy. But he also has leveled out his game a lot from what I've read and what I've watched. So, I mean, maybe he could fit in on a third line or something like that. But he would be a great replacement. Also, Tyler Mott, if he's had time to heal his injuries that he's had this year, I really think that he could fill in. So, and I mean, then you got the first line with Taves, Schmaltz, Panic, and the second line with Kane, Anisimov, DeBrincat. And then you could also trade Panarin for a defenseman that we would really need with Campbell, with Oduya being gone. Maybe we could get a cheap, young, talented defenseman. So those are some of my thoughts right now. We'll see how this all shapes out after the Stanley Cup is completed. We got a lot of big salaries, and it will be interesting to see what Stan can do to shed some of this cap hardship that we have right now. But if there's anyone that has shown that he's able to circumvent these tough salary cap situations, it has been Stan Bowman. So we'll see how this goes, and it definitely will be an entertaining offseason for sure. So again, take it easy, comment, subscribe, like. Let me know if you want to contribute on this hockey vlog community. Would love to get more people making more videos here about things involved in hockey. So again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.